It is time for my college football Week 2 predictions. Before I start, I want to apologize to Michigan for saying they will suck. They proved me wrong, and they will make a bowl game this year. Let's start with the SEC's biggest matchup between Georgia and South Carolina. Both teams won easily last week, and since South Carolina is playing at home, and it looks like Steve Spurrier finally has an offense, I think South Carolina will win. Next up is Hawaii and Army. Hawaii fared well offensively against USC and should against Army as well, though Hawaii probably has the worst defense in the country. Since I'm from Hawaii, I'll pick them to win. Next up is Florida State at Oklahoma. Florida State looked impressive versus Samford, while Oklahoma struggled massively versus Utah State. I think Oklahoma will get things together this week and will beat Florida State, but this game can go either way. Next up is Michigan at Notre Dame. Michigan was very impressive versus UConn, while Notre Dame I thought was very non-impressive versus Purdue. I will pick Michigan over Notre Dame. Don't ask why, it's just a pick. Next up is Miami, Florida at Ohio State. Buckeyes have home field advantage, and Ja'Cory Harris will probably throw a lot of interceptions in this game. The Buckeyes will win by at least 20. Next up is Penn State at Alabama. This seems to be the first time in a while where Penn State plays a tough non-conference game. I think Alabama, with their home field advantage, will win easily, though. Next up is Oregon at Tennessee. I think Oregon has a great chance to go unbeaten. Pac-10 teams don't like to play defense, and we saw what Oregon did to New Mexico. They won 72-0. I think this will be a close game, however, and will come to the end. But I like Oregon in this matchup, but it's going to be a close game. In a Pac-10 matchup, Stanford at UCLA. I think Stanford will not be very good this year. UCLA is not very good either, but I think UCLA will win. Lastly, Virginia against USC. USC wins this game easily, 56-0. And now it's time for my NFL predictions. But first off, I want to say that the NFL season officially kicks off with Taylor Swift. She is the best thing that's ever been mine. They should have gotten somebody way better to play at the kickoff show. Love stories do not relate to football. California girls do. So I'll quickly go over my NFL picks and the games that actually matter. Saints are over the Vikings. This game is not going to be close. Giants over the Panthers. I think Eli Manning will have his best year ever this year. I like the Steelers over the Falcons. I think Dennis Dixon will be good enough for the Steelers to win, as the Steelers' defense will dominate the game. Colts over Texans. Texans will probably lead for the majority of the game and choke in the fourth quarter like they always do against the Colts. Green Bay over Philly. Dumbest move in football ever to get rid of Donovan McNabb. Eagles will be terrible this year. New England big over Cincinnati. T.O. and Ocho Cinco combo won't work. New England has way too many weapons on offense. They will be very good this year. Redskins and the Cowboys. I think the Redskins are going to beat the Cowboys. Dallas looked pretty bad in the preseason, and I'm the only dumbass to think that preseason has an effect on the regular season. In other news, I think the Jets will beat the Ravens. It would not be a close game at all. And finally, I'll take the Rams over the Cardinals as the upset of the weekend. Rams had a good preseason, and since I'm so dumb, I think preseason means everything, and I think the Rams will win. Also looking forward to the VMAs. Lady Gaga should win everything, and I'm looking forward to watching Kanye West. And remember, Rams over Cardinals.